Hello all, welcome back to another video. Welcome to Sammy G's World of Cinema. Today on the channel I am going to be doing my response tag video to the thread of 31 Days of Horror that was started off by Marcus at Xfile 2780 or 2708. Sorry Marcus if I butchered your channel name there, do apologise about that. But he started like this challenge, and then I was tagged to do this challenge video by Roy at Blue Roy Movies. So thank you so much, Marcus and Roy, for requesting me to take on like this challenge. And at the end of the video, I will be tagging two YouTubers, two people in the film community to, and absolutely optional to do this. Do this challenge video talking about 31 horror film recommendations in this 31 Days of Horror challenge that was set up by Marcus. And what a brilliant thread it is, mate. Absolutely loving the response videos to like this tag thread as well. So without further ado, we're going to go straight off the bat. And it was quite challenging to think of 31 horror films that have not been shown. I don't think part of this thread. I think there might be some of these that might have been shown already. I mean, I know, who is it? Roy has done his response to this because Lisa was tagged to do this as well. And yeah, a couple of the other guys. But yeah, I've been loving the sort of like the response videos to like these like challenges and stuff. It's really good. So the first one I've got to show is Child's Play, which was a obviously the start of the Chucky film series, and a really cool little film. Not one of my favorite horror films, but I do quite like this one. Quite like the original artwork there as well. And yeah, but yeah, the only Child's Play Chucky film I've seen as well. So it's one of those first films in a film series that I have seen, but I haven't checked out the sequels to that one. And something very different to that, and it's I think it is maybe classed as like a Japanese horror movie with it's like a fantasy horror Japanese film, and I absolutely love this from the same director of the Gamera film series. And yeah, just it's got a couple of real riveting scenes in this, like a couple of twists and turns. And yeah, I think who is it, the young girl who plays like the main girl in it, she does a really good job. And the whole thing with the whole scenario with this silver-haired witch in the film, and going by the title as well, the snake girl and the silver-haired witch, the whole mystery elements to this is just excellent. Absolutely love this film. And there's just some really creepy elements, like with the whole snakes and the reptiles. Really sends shivers down my spine, really sort of thing. And it does, because I'm terrified of snakes. Can't stand snakes. Absolutely hate snakes with a capital H. I really am not a fan of snakes at all. And this was very effective for like a black and white Japanese horror film and stuff. So yeah, it's more fantasy but got like horror elements to it. So that's the snake girl and silver-haired witch. And oh, look at this artwork as well, guys. Great stuff. Love that film. And one I would recommend for the month of horror. And oh yes, and I'm trying to watch at least one horror film per day, like a lot of people do during the month of horror in October, where there's like we try to watch a horror film per day. And so far I've watched 3 horror movies into this month. I mean, as I'm recording this on the 3rd of October. I'm gonna probably find time to watch another horror film like before the day is up, but this was the one that kick-started my horror binge of like in October this year, and that is the original Friday the 13th. And what I am gonna do is I'm gonna pick up the is it the 8th film sets from Paramount on Blu-ray? I'm probably the first 8 films from Paramount. I'm probably going to pick them up on Blu-ray because I've heard some of the sequels are fantastic. I've heard it's meant to be one of the most consistent film series in general out there, not just horror, but one of the most consistent film series as well, like in terms of like sequels and stuff. And I've heard that some of the sequels are meant to be better than this original film, but I absolutely loved this original film. And if I'm told that some of the sequels are better than the original, then I cannot wait to see what's else in store for my journey with this film series, and that's the original Friday the 13th. Oh, absolutely love this. You know, just what a brilliant way to kickstart one of the most beloved film series, I think, of all time. Just absolutely excellent stuff. And the whole music, some of the kills in there is very brutal. And the setting of Camp Crystal Lake in, like, I think it's the late 1950s, is it? Yeah, and the whole the reveal at the end of like the killer and stuff, and that jump scare, it's just so iconic as well. So yeah, really fantastic stuff there. That's the original Friday the 13th. This is a film where I think time has been kind to this movie, and I know it's maintained a massive cult status in recent years, and I've only seen the first 3 films in this horror series. I love the original. I think the sequel, the second film, is a very solid like entry into the film series. However, guys, this might just well be one of my favourite horror films, but my favourite of this horror series. And I've only seen the first 3 films, but this is definitely my favourite Halloween film. There we go. And that is, yeah, Halloween Season of the Witch. I have just got the DVD for this one. I definitely want to get the 4K Scream Factory edition at some point. Haven't got to it yet, but the whole thing about the countdown to Halloween and the whole trick or treat, you know, like that jingle that runs throughout in and out of the film, I think is just very good, and it's kind of mesmerizing as well. It's so atmospheric. I really like the main 2 characters in this. You've got who was it, Tom Atkins, and yeah, the main actress does a brilliant job. I think it has a pretty decent villain, and the possessive masks and stuff is just, yeah, it's just a really great movie, guys. I definitely want to get this on 4K down the line. I've heard the 4K transfer is meant to be tremendous, and I know like Keith, Andy and Nigel are big fans of this film as well, and rightly so. And yeah, it's a fantastic film, Halloween Season of the Witch. And yeah, a film that is very, again, with the runtime of, I think, under like an hour and 50 minutes, it does so much with so little in this film. And I think it's incredible like how much it does with like, you know, like just this one setting like by this coast and the lighthouse and stuff. And there's so much imagery and you know, like creepy aspects and stuff. And the whole on and off, you know, sort of like like rivalry between like these two what is it? Yeah, the two people that go and work at that this lighthouse, and they're both played brilliantly by two wonderful actors, Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe. And yeah, the whole paranoia and fear and stuff that's in this film, I think is, yeah, like it's really done well in this film, and that is The Lighthouse. Yeah, I absolutely love this film. I've not seen Robert Eggers' first movie, was it The Witch? I cannot wait for his remake of Nosferatu, which I think is coming out either later this year or early in the new year. I cannot wait for that, guys. But yeah, this is a really great film that's got a very Lynchian aesthetic to it, and yeah, absolutely absolutely great stuff. So yeah, that's The Lighthouse, which gets my full recommendation. And then a film, I think these next two films have got a similar like resemblance, like feel about them. And yeah, this one could have definitely inspired David Lynch to make this film, which I've also talked about in like it was part 3 of my Criterion collection. And yeah, this has got like, again, I've only seen it the once, but I thought it was very, very good. And yeah, it's definitely one that's you know, like got a lot to like digest, and you know, there's so much happening within its like runtime as well. And that's a Carnival of Souls, which is just absolutely excellent. From what I remember, not seen this one in a little while, but I do remember really enjoying this one. Like there was this car crash that happens at the start of the film, and things just start to escalate there, and the whole like what you call it, yeah, the whole like imagery and stuff that's centered around in this film, and yeah, by this like lakeside, you know, it's very like dark and you know, it's got a very a bit of an immersive sort of like layered tone to it. So yeah, that's like Carnival of Souls there. And yeah, for 1977, guys, I can only tip my hat off to David Lynch for this, because this is a film that was like no other film at the time, you know, and like one main character that's dealing with like these family problems, and there's this brawl in the family, and then, you know, like I think he's not having the best work life as well. He's not really enjoying his work life so much, and yeah, to do something like the way that the direction of this film is an absolute curveball. It is an oddball sort of premise, and the whole experimental, nightmarish sort of premise and layers that go on in this film is just completely mind-boggling to me. But it's such a brilliant film. Not going to be for everyone, and it's certainly not a film where I'd be like, hey mom, dad, do you want to watch Eraserhead? So yeah, the absolutely incredible debut film from David Lynch, and it is a student film, and for him to do this as a student film on his directorial debut, I think is just absolutely astonishing. It's not going to be a film for everyone, guys, and I totally get that, but it's a really cool film, and just so much that's going on and so much to process. After I first watched this film, I was like, I just need to lie down afterwards. I was like that when I watched what you call it, the Substance on Mubi as well. And then the original Nightmare on Elm Street, just what can I say that hasn't been said? Just one of the best horror films out there, certainly one of my favourite horror films. And yeah, it's just, again, the brilliant introduction to Freddy Krueger, and then you've got Freddy Krueger, is it, sorry, and yeah, I love the whole thing with like Nancy in this film as well. I think Nancy's just a great like protagonist, and you know Johnny Depp's in there, and the whole creative work that went around this film as well, with like the whole like horrifying nightmarish sequences and the whole like backstory told by Nancy's mother and that. I think it's just it's just a work of wonder from like Wes Craven. So I'll go for the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Cannot wait to see that on the big screen at Tyneside at the end of the month. I think for the film's 40th anniversary. And then I'm always going to praise Nige for recommending this film and getting the word around about this movie. Yeah, I think a lot of people have Nige to thank for getting the word around about this film. And an Argentinian film, is it Argentinian? I think, Spanish film, sorry. That's, yeah, like, just set in like this, at this cinema, similar to the film Demons, which I have never seen. Need to check that out at some point. And yeah, like, again, it's a bit of a slow burn, but it's just a wonderful, you know, like a great little slasher film that's got some like tension building, and it's quite unsettling at times as well. But that's the film, The Last Matinee. Love this film, excellent stuff and brilliant soundtrack. And then we've got the original, The Thing from Another World. The remake of The Thing, like most people, I do prefer to the original. It's kind of one of those very few remakes I actually preferred over the original. However, the original, fantastic film, absolutely love it. Yeah, and of course, if it wasn't for this film, we wouldn't have had the remake from John Carpenter, and one of the greatest films ever, in my opinion. And yeah, I just again love this film with the whole Antarctic setting and stuff, and the whole thing about the body horror like subgenre. I think this film would have been one of the like founding fathers of that as well. So that's The Thing from Another World. And similar to that, I totally understand that most people would prefer the original and say the original is the best film, and I totally understand that, guys, because it is a brilliant staple of horror. I'm not going to deny that. It is excellent. However, I've got to say that whilst I do think the original is the better movie, I think the better made movie, I do personally prefer like the sequel, and 23 years is it after the original, and it just absolutely pays off, and it is a wonderful you know, second installment into this film series, and that is Psycho 2. Just a brilliant film from Richard Franklin. And, you know, like, because of this film, I just want to check out more of this director's work, and the whole, you know, like, life after the original for Norman Bates, and, you know, like, Norman Bates 20 years after the original, and seeing where he is at, and his work life, and settling down in his, so like his like big mansion and stuff, Bates motel and stuff, and yeah, it is just a brilliant movie, this, and I think again there's some great like riveting scenes, some really chilling scenes, especially in like the final half an hour, and I think the main girl in it is definitely like the best side character. Not a fan of her mother in it though. I've got to be honest, her mother, yeah, she can be a bit irritating at times in this film, but a great sequel there for Psycho. And then we've got Messiah of Evil on Radiance Films. I've seen this just the once, but I did remember absolutely loving this. Thought it was very good, like set at this seaside town, and I think there's just remember there's just been like there's some creepy aspects about this that run throughout. It says like a woman travels to a sleepy seaside town to find her father, who has been writing letters spelling doom. Upon arrival, she soon discovers the town is under the influence of a strange cult that weeps tears of blood and hunger for like human flesh. And there is one scene I do remember of this where I think there's like one scene that's set in like a cinema and stuff, and the way they all come out of this cinema and stuff, and it's very chilling stuff. Definitely one I need to like revisit at some point, and I would definitely recommend that. And then we've got, I know Alan Scouser is a massive fan of this film, and I definitely need to include it in this month of horror because I've only seen it the once, but I can remember it being absolutely great. The original Haunting. I'm probably never going to bother with the well, no, you never know. Never say never. I was going to say I might never bother with the remake, but I'm not in a mad rush to. And this is directed by... So Robert Wise, this is directed by... I'm just trying to find it. It's Robert Wise, isn't it? Yeah, Robert Wise, who directed Star Trek, the motion picture. And it's got a great setting and stuff. There's a few scenes that I think I wasn't as thrilled by, but when you get to the main suspense and chilling atmosphere of the movie, it is really good, and I get that it's a real influential piece of horror and stuff. So that's The Haunting from Robert Wise. And then something for a bit different, like I think you could class this as like a horror and stuff. It's like a horror musical, so similar thing to, like, would you say the Rocky Horror Picture Show? I've never seen that actually. I might do a video where I talk about another 10 films I've shockingly never seen, and I might include that. Well, I've spoiled that one now. Lol. But this one, like a horror sort of musical, and I think the whole thing blended with between like music and like the genre of horror, I think again is well done here. It's done in a bit of a quirky, bombastic sort of fashion, and that's Phantom of the Paradise, brilliantly directed by Brian De Palma, and who was a master in the 70s and made some great films in the 80s as well, and other great films after that. And this record producer like steals the work of this composer, and it gets locked up, and then there's some real and then there's like a bit of a transition, a bit of a 180 with like this character in this film, and it's Brian De Palma's inspired rock and roll fusion of Faust and the Phantom of the Opera and the picture of Dorian Gray. So some great influences in this film, and what would make Phantom of the Paradise. And it's a phantom of the paradise, phantom of the paradise. Bit of Coldplay there, why not? And this is absolutely fantastic, guys. I remember, who was it, Craig at Bumper's Movies talked really highly of this film, and I think I took a leaf out of his book to check this film out, and I thought it was brilliant. A TV movie, and absolutely excellent this. And would there is like a remake of this from Guillermo del Toro, which I haven't seen as of yet, and again this couple, I think, that move into like a new house and something is lurking around the house and stuff, and it sets the tone for like fear and paranoia, and that's Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. Very chilling, mesmerising ending to this one. Really, really good film, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, which would get my recommendation. And only seen the first film of this in the film series, and Toby Hooper, which made one of the most beloved horror films of all time, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And there's another film of his I am going to include in this, and this probably is my favourite film of his so far, and that's Poltergeist. Absolutely love this. I've seen it a few times. Again, the whole thing with like the communication with the ghosts and stuff, and you know, like the communication between the main girl in it, like Caroline, and you know, like, is it Caroline, with like the ghosts and that, and like this TV and stuff, and the whole like supernatural elements that are centered around this film is very effective, and it is a film that's aged quite well as well. And this like sort of detective sort of team crew that come into this house as well, they make for a great like side group, like additions to the story and stuff. So yeah, that is Poltergeist, and I need to check out the 2 other sequels at some point, and then another first film. I've seen the first film in this horror series as well, but I haven't seen the sequels nor the remake or the I think the brand new prequel that came out earlier in the year. And again, a film, you know, it's quite got a bit of a religion theme, and you know, it's got a very, you know, it's very dark, and you know, like this one main kid who, you know, like it's got these like sort of evil like powers, and you know, like it really puts like his parents at like unsettling ease. And you know, like again, there's the whole discovery of like that this kid's being like the son of like Satan, and that is the first film, The Omen, the original from 1976, absolute classic film, really, really fantastic, very good, and the score is very brooding. It's got that brooding presence about it, and again, there's some brutal scenes in there, some couple of really brutal deaths in there, and like the whole thing with the the lady that works in like the house as well, and she's familiar with like these evil powers and stuff, and it's very it's kind of chilling as well. And when they get to like Roman stuff, and with what's it, the main dad's in it, played by Gregory Peck, and when him and David Warner and one scene go to Rome, and they kind of like make like they kind of do their like research and stuff into like what's what they have recently been transfixed with and stuff, and they discover like further information about this. It's quite it's a film I've got to be in the right mood for, but a very, very good film, and I need to check out the sequels 2, 3, and 4, which are not meant to be too bad actually. So that's the original Omen, and I'm gonna have a swig of my tea. And the next one is that I would recommend, Cat's Eye. Like a anthology film based off the Stephen King novel, which I've never read. And this is a really great anthology film, this where there's like this one cat that features in all these 3 stories. yeah, there's like one with the story with James Woods, who's like a family man based in New York, and yeah, like he's just been like he's just like giving up smoking and that, and like yeah, so there's that one, and then there's another one where there's like a casino owner of this casino, sorry, and yeah, like who like kidnaps someone like to take on like this. I think it's like to walk around like this. Is it like this ledge or something around? Yeah, the ledge, around this ledge, around like is like apartment block and stuff. Yeah, very intense. That I remember that. And there's the third story and one of Drew Barrymore's early roles, where yeah, like she's just taken on like this cat as like a new cat basically, and there's like a sort of like something like unknown and to like her parents that is like lurking around like the house and stuff. So yeah, like Cat's Eye, which yeah, really good like anthology film. And the 4K on this, guys, is beautiful. There's a couple of anthology films that I need to check out, like a couple of seminal ones like Creepshow, Tales from the Dark Side, and the TV series for Tales from the Crypt. So yeah, that's Cat's Eye. And then a folk horror film that's got multiple cuts and is one of the founding fathers of the folk horror like subgenre, and yeah, a really great like little film this that's got a very chilling ending, and yeah, got a great like folk soundtrack as well, you know, like a great story as well based off a book, you know, like a police officer that comes to like this island, Summer Isle, and yeah, like there's like he gets like these unwanted sort of visitors and stuff when he's going on like this case, investigation case of this missing girl, and he gets these unwanted visitors, and he starts to notice strange happenings around like upon his visit to Summer Isle, and that's yeah, The Wicker Man. Excellent film, guys. The film that had a massive influence on the film Midsummer as well from 2019, and yeah, really great stuff. I think I've only seen the is it just the theatrical cut I've seen? So I might check out the director's cut next, and then you've got the final cut as well. So there's yeah, 3 cuts. I don't know if there's like another version of this sort or what have you, but yeah, I need to yeah, definitely check out like the other 2 versions of this at some point. So that's The Wicker Man, and then I had to include a horror film by Brian De Palma, and I went for Carrie. Absolutely love this film, and again, a first film in like a horror movie where I haven't seen like the sequels nor the remake. I've heard the remake is absolute cack. I've heard it's bloody terrible, so don't think I'll bother with that. But Carrie, again, it's probably one of those horror films that's got some of the best like tension building in there as well, and you know it's got, you know, very good like build up and stuff, and you know, in terms of, like camera work and stuff and character work and stuff, and you know, like seeing all the like this abruptness like just arose into like this film, and you know, like the whole sort of turn for the worst that happens, you know, like at a major point in the film, and yeah, it is incredible, some of the outcomes, and just enthralling and super dark. The whole red colour grading as well, and yeah, just you know, again, the film that you know is got a bit of a religious theme in there as well, and the whole thing with like the Carrie White's mother in there, you know, a very unhinged like sort of addition to the story. there's John Travolta, and then you've got Nancy Allen, who would both go on to star in another Brian De Palma film, and what is it, Blowout, like I think about 5 years after this film. So yeah, Carrie, wonderful film. Never read the book. I would like to read the book from Stephen King at some point. And then potentially my second favourite werewolf film, but it's not saying much only because I haven't seen loads and loads of werewolf films. I think it comes to no surprise what is my number one favourite werewolf film. I mean, if you want to take a guess at that, guys, you're more than welcome to, but it would be no surprise to like what my favourite werewolf film is, and I'm sure it is for a lot of people as well. But I think this might be my second favourite werewolf film, and yeah, this film definitely didn't get me howling at some of see what I did there? At some of the like stuff that went on in this film. But yeah, The Howling, great film. Apparently the 4K is meant to be really good in that. And yeah, look, some of a couple of the transformation sequences and the what do you call it, the cabin setting and that as well, in this like woodland, you know, it's got a very mesmerizing sort of feel about it. And you know, seeing some of the outcomes for a couple these characters, it's not a pleasant like sight for them. A really great film about like this TV like presenter, and yeah, and what she's like up against and that, what she's like wrestling with here. And it's a really cool film. So that's The Howling. I've heard The Howling 2 is absolute pants, but I've heard Howling 3 is meant to be pretty good. So, and then the song by Susie and the Banshees, Christine, great film. Again, I've not read the book from, is it Stephen King? Yeah, I've not read the book from Stephen King, but I absolutely love the film. Really good movie, this one, guys. I went to go to see this at Tyneside last year, you know, involving like this possessive red car, and, you know, like this deadly red car, and, you know, like this character, oh, what you called it, the guy's name in it, played by, is it Keith Gordon? And yeah, who gets like a lot of shit at school and that, and he goes for a pretty harsh time. And as soon as he's really attached to this red car, and, you know, like he takes a great liking to this car as well, and we start to see a changing direction with like his character. And yeah, really good film. And the same guy, is it from Stand By Me as well? Is it John Stockwell? Was he in Stand By Me and The Lost Boys as well in that film? But yeah, Christine, really great film. And also what do you call it, the one of the main side characters in Home Alone's in there as well. So yeah, that's and yeah, that's my Tyneside ticket there. So yeah, that's Christine. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 films to go, so doing quite well here. And this is another really good, very underrated. I don't think this film gets talked about a load, but I think it's really good. It would probably make a good like double bill with like The Changeling that came around this time as well. The Changeling from 1980, isn't it? And I just love the wintry setting in this as well. It's got a very tragic incident that happens, I think, start of the film. And yeah, like and the whole sort of you know, like setting with this like a big house as well, and you see these 4 friends in like this big house, and they come forward to like talk about their past, and something like sinister and sort of you know, that's very like that kind of tampers on something at present tense sort of thing. And yeah, really good film. Melvyn Douglas from the Fantastic film, I think he won an Oscar for Best Supporting Role in the film being there. And based off a book as well. And this film is Ghost Story. Excellent, fantastic little film. This guy's really good. Great wintry setting in there as well. I do love those horror movies that has got like a wintry setting and like tone layered to it and stuff. And the comparison stuff with the past and the present, very interesting stuff in that, and very chilling indeed. And like someone that they knew in like the past, and that's really come back into like their memory and stuff. It's very interesting, quite dark as well. That's Ghost Story. And this might be one of my favourite films of all time. I know Roy at Blue Roy Movies is a big fan of this film as well. And it's a film I watch every October without fail. And I said earlier in the video, guys, I cannot wait for that remake, mate, from from Robert Eggers, and it's probably now my most anticipated film. Again, I'm not too sure if it comes out later this year or early in the new year, but this is the original Nosferatu. One great thing about this remake coming out as well is that a lot of people might even go back to and watch this for the first time, and this film deserves even the more the merrier, the more love it can get as well as it has done for a long time as well, because this is a wonderful film, one of my favourite films of all time. Absolutely love the score by what's the guy's name? Is it James Bernard? I love the score from James Bernard in this. And for a film that's over a century of age, and it's aged tremendously. The whole walk up sequence with like Nosferatu walking up the stairs and that, I remember seeing that when I first saw that scene. It really gave me the shivers. And as soon as I saw it, the trailer for this, I think it was one time, and when I saw a film like at Bradford, and I saw this getting re-released at the cinema, I saw the trailer, and I didn't get around to seeing it at the cinema, unfortunately, but I was like, I have got to check this film out. And it's just a brilliant take on like the sort of the Dracula universe and stuff. And it's brilliant. And the whole thing with this solicitor and stuff, and he's one of his clients turns out to be someone that like he is like a vampire and stuff, and he's very unaware of this. And then when he eventually is made aware of it, it kind of is a whole new state of affairs indeed. And with the main couple, they kind of when they are in different two places at once, it's like you're really wanting these two characters to get back together sooner rather than later into the film. And absolutely just incredible film this. And again, the whole black and white cinematography, and again, like the hills and this this mansion and stuff, and again, the whole thing with the plague as well is just mesmerizing to watch. So I wouldn't mind getting the BFI edition of this at some point, but that's the original Nosferatu from 1922, one of the best films ever in my opinion. And that actually might be my favourite vampire film, but this is my second favourite vampire film. And I know, again, it's a film that gets a lot of love in the film community, and rightly so, because it is a wonderful staple of horror. It's going to be turning 40 next year, and I really hope it gets a lovely 40th anniversary edition, because it is right there for the taking. And that is the original Fright Night. Just excellent soundtrack, great story with the whole like the new neighbours moving in and stuff, and yeah, you just got some really great fun-loving characters with what do you call it? Is it Amy and Charlie? And you've got the TV star Peter Vincent, played by Roddy McDowall, and yeah, the premise, like with the vampires and stuff, and even some of the score is excellent. So yeah, Fright Night, and yeah, great Blu-ray transfer on that as well. And I thought I would include I think I've got a couple of video nasties in here, and these are the next 3-year-old video nasty related, and I know the likes of John Mondo Chelovek and Nige Rock God 2004, they've like done their live streams surrounding like the video nasties. And I know Craig at Bumpers Movies and Trev at Double Bill Movies, they've done their series about like the 39, so really cool like stuff that's going on there. And if I can find the link to the playlist of like Trev and Craig's series on the 39 and John and Nigel's playlist on the on their like video nasty live streams, I'll leave a link to those playlists in the description down below, because it's absolutely wonderful stuff, guys. Just their wealth of knowledge, and you know, like that kind of learning about learning about some of the backstories with the video nasties and stuff. It's just really interesting to watch and hear. And this is a film I got quite lucky with this original edition, because this is quite hard to find now with the nasty cut, and that is Don't Go in the House. Watched this for the first time earlier in the year, guys. Absolutely loved it. Got some psycho, it's got like a psycho aesthetic to it, and like some really creepy vibes going on, this unhinged character, and you know, like when he comes across other characters along the way, and you see this like direction with this like character, and it makes a whole new kettle of fish and stuff, and a couple of really like horrifying scenes in there as well. One scene involving like a flamethrower, and yeah, and learning the backstory with like again similar to like Norman Bates, but about like his mother and stuff in this film. And yeah, a really great yeah, a really great little horror film this, with Don't Go in the House. I need to change that to the original video nasty artwork at some point, so that's Don't Go in the House. And then I've got Evil Dead 2 on my t-shirt, and again, like Evil Dead 2, I can't watch one without the other. I've got to watch the first one and then like the second one. The second one I am going to see at Tyneside Cinema like later in the month, and I cannot wait to see that for the first time on the big screen. And yeah, possibly to date my favourite horror film series, and that is Evil Dead. I know the original Evil Dead sometimes it does get like frowned upon and stuff. I think sometimes probably could be the case with just the sequel being so amazing that's maybe the original might sometimes get frowned upon, but I absolutely love the original, guys. And again, so effective and quite creepy still to this day and stuff. And again, the introduction to this awesome like lead character of Ash Williams, who really like tapped into gear in the role with Evil Dead 2 that comes in subsequent years after this. And yeah, just a wonderful like first installment into a beloved horror film series. And I have got like the VHS tape there as well, so yeah, on this like Palace edition and stuff. So yeah, very nice, very cool stuff. That's Evil Dead. And talking of Fright Night, there's another character in there called Evil Ed in there. And then we've got another Toby Hooper film. And yeah, like, again, quite similar to Evil Dead to certain capacity, you know, like you've got, what do you call it? Like, sort of like, yeah, like, it's got like Evil Dead like vibes in there, and well, I say Evil Dead vibes, but this came out before like Evil Dead, didn't it, or the same year? And yeah, it's really good, like a group of characters that stay overnight at like this carnival in town, and you know, like things are not all what they seem, and that is the fun house. Welcome to the house of fun. Du, 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 du. Du, 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 du. Welcome to the fun house. Yeah. Yeah, I'm quite surprised this film didn't get a sequel. I think this is a sort of horror film that could have really warranted a sequel, in my opinion. This and Evil Dead, I can see it maybe inspiring A24's film, Bodies, 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 like that film that came out a couple of years ago. And yeah, like the couple of like the mask designs and some of the set designs I really do dig in this film as well. So yeah, that is the fun house. One of the main characters in there, and played by Oliver Reed, who's like this psychiatrist, and he's in a relationship with this guy's ex-wife, and she's had this real traumatic experience, and then something is not quite right that's happening in the main father's life at the minute, and you know, like he's like everything's just up in the air when he finds out that his daughter can see like unsettling things, and that is the Brood. Absolutely great, underrated film. This again, I love the score from Howard Shore in this, and yeah, like the final act is absolutely mesmerizing. It's so daunting, a real daunting final act that had a very sort of like similar bulk to like The Shining and stuff. But yeah, The Brood, really, really good body horror film, and yeah, like it's got some great practical work in this film as well, super well paced, and I like pretty much all the characters in there. Like Oliver Reed is great, and a couple of the main characters in there as well, and yeah, from 1979. So yeah, that is The Brood from David Cronenberg. And then the second to last one now, and a film I actually didn't really all that enjoy on first viewing, and I've watched it a couple of times since, and it has really grown on me, actually. I really do like this film now. Again, it's kind of set more out to be like more of a drama, but then there's more like horror elements to it, and those horror elements are quite big horror elements, and the whole thing about the sort of what you call it, the research with the devil and stuff, and all these demons and spirits, it's quite, yeah, like unnerving, very nerve-wracking stuff to watch, and the whole thing with like fear and paranoia that's set throughout and stuff. And Mia Farrow does a brilliant job as like Rosemary in this, and Ruth Gordon as the main neighbour. Yeah, there's some fantastic characters. The main is it like psychiatrist? Yeah, he's a really cool like character in there as well. And yeah, that's Rosemary's Baby. Fantastic film, guys. Again, it's got a very sort of like nightmarish sort of like it's almost like yeah, like a lullaby sort of score in there. That's yeah, like quite chilling at the start. So yeah, Rosemary's Baby, that would get another like recommendation from me. And the final one, guys, and yeah, if you know me, then you'll know that this is my favourite horror movie of all time. I could not include this 31 Days of Horror list without including my favourite horror film of all time. The film I think I pretty much watch every October the 31st now, and I certainly will be doing the same again this year, and that is The Shining, my favourite horror film of all time. I've seen it so many times. I've read the book. The book from Stephen King is just a work of genius as well. But what Stanley Kubrick did with this is a work of genius as well. And yeah, Jack Torrance, one of the most unhinged like antagonists in a movie, and the relationship between him and Wendy, and then you've got Danny, their son, in there as well, you know, who, like, sees things that no one should ever seen, no matter what age. And yeah, the whole thing with room 237, the hallway, and yeah, the Outlook Hotel, and is it the Overreach or the Outlook Hotel? It just a really great, effective setting for a horror movie, and it is just incredible. Like the cinematography, the score, and the acting, you know, like from Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall and everyone else, and the whole thing with, like, in the film with with Tony as well, and Mr. Like, is it Mr. like Halloran and stuff, and like, yeah, like a couple of these like some of the sort of flashbacks and stuff. Yeah, it's a really wonderful staple of horror. That is my yeah, favourite horror movie of all time, and the whole thing with the lady in room 237 and stuff, and that's probably for me the most chilling part of the movie, when that lady's like in the bathroom, and yeah, like there's some like a change of direction with room 237 and a couple of twists and turns throughout. So yeah, that is The Shining, my favourite horror film of all time, and I think it always will be. So guys, that will conclude my entry into the 31 Days of Horror Challenge. I do want to thank Marcus and Roy again for requesting me to do this. I've absolutely loved doing this, and I think my horror Blu-ray collection, I might do that possibly next year when I've got maybe a few more titles into the my horror Blu-ray collection, and a lot of these titles I have shown, yeah, that's a great proportion of my horror Blu-ray collection. But when I've got like more of a titles has been added and stuff, I might make a more worthwhile sort of horror Blu-ray collection. So I think I might do that for next year now. But I might try and do one more video that's like horror related and stuff. But anyways, I have to the two people, but anyways, for two people that I want to nominate to take on like this 31 Days of Horror Challenge, where you have to recommend 31 horror films, I'm gonna go with Nige over Rock Gods 2004 and Alan at Alan Scouser. I think both of those guys, being massive into horror, I think they could do a brilliant job with like recommending 31 horror films, and a lot of which I might not have seen and stuff, and a great insight into other horror movies. I think Nige and Alan probably would yeah, like do a great job at that, and yeah, so I'm gonna nominate them two fellow YouTubers to take on this challenge as well. So there we go, guys, that will conclude 31 Days of Horror, my 31 Days of Horror film recommendations, and yeah, do let me know, guys, what's your thoughts on all of these films, and what's some of your favourite ones. I would love to know all of that good stuff in the comments down below. So thanks for watching, cheers for stopping by, and until next time, I'll see you for the next video. Bye bye.